Daniel.
Hey, Keegan.
I see that we're going to play some sort of game I've never seen before.
Probably, yeah. This is Surviving Mars.
Okay.
This is the Make Mars Green version.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So, in this one, it's a city builder where you have to survive on Mars and make Mars eventually habitable and make it into, like, the new Earth, essentially.
All right. That sounds cool. So what's going on this screen right here? We got a mission sponsor.
Yeah, so there's different mission sponsors. Each one changes the difficulty, how much research you get per your sponsor, and how much money you start out with.
Well, I think very clearly we need to go with...
Also, it changes what missions you have, because there's individual missions that they give you.
So what I see is clearly, like, my heart wants to pick the good old US of A, but I think we need to be religious zealots in this Church of the New Ark. I don't know what that means, or what we're going to be doing.
So the difficulty is hard.
Well, that doesn't matter to me.
Funding is, I'm the one playing. Funding is 4,000 million. We have
also known as 4 billion, 4 American billion.
Yeah. We start out with 120 applicants, which means when we actually send people to Mars, that's how many we have to choose from.
Yeah.
We get no research from them. And rare metal pricing is 20 million.
But I also see that our birth rate is doubled, which means
that's a good thing.
While our people are religious, they are fucking.
We also they're that kind of they're the Catholics.
They don't believe in birth control, is what I'm seeing.
There are some drawbacks. Hydroponic farms performance rate is reduced by 50. So for some reason they don't know how to grow shit with water.
That's because growing shit with water is the devil's work.
Oh, I see. So yeah, you want to go with Church of the New Ark? I'm letting you do all this.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, it's gonna be a short video.
Okay.
So now this one is different. This shows us what technology we start out with, and certain events that happen in game will vary depending on what we start.
You know what?
With.
My brain says we should be a hydro engineer.
Okay.
Because water is the work of the devil.
So this one, domes consume 25% less water, which is good. The bonus tech is we get water reclamation, which unlocks a spire, which is like the central building in your dome.
What we should be like a politician or something, like something completely useless.
Actually, politician's pretty nice. So.
Okay, what else could we be? What's an ecologist do?
Where is this?
Well, I know what an ecologist does, but I'm saying like in the game. What does an ecologist
comfort buildings increase comfort by 10% by 10, which is nice.
So let me ask you a question. What is one thing that can make up for our drawback of believing that growing plants with water is the devil?
That's a good question.
Because while we're religious, we do want to plan for the future. Is it like the geoengineer? Is it?
Where is it? The oligarch and city mayor tend to make up for it.
Yeah.
In a way, it's not
fuel
direct.
Production increased by 25%,
and we unlock pretty much a giant apartment building for all the people who are fucking.
What's the city mayor do?
The city mayor, you get more funding, which is nice because we don't have a lot.
Which would help, yeah.
Buildings require less upkeep, which is also nice.
Yeah.
And you get what's known as Mars Nova, which I totally forget what it is.
Building costs in metals and concrete are reduced by 20%. What's the geoengineer do? This is all that good content.
Where the fuck is
It's at the very top.
Is it? Oh, I wasn't paying attention. So this is for terraforming purposes.
Oh, seeds import costs reduced by 50%.
Yep.
Well, okay.
Bonus prefabs, which means they're pre-made buildings. You just got to set them down.
That may actually help.
Except they're for terraforming.
Okay. Well, let's go with the city mayor.
All right.
Oh, what's astrogeologist?
That's not one. Astrogeologist.
I just saw that.
Yeah. Start with a rare metal deposit, which is nice because that's how you make more money as you send rare metal. Extractor produced.
Let's do that. Let's send them with an astrogeologist.
And we'll get deep scanning, which is nice because there are things you can find that change things up and down.
Okay, so our colony logo needs to be something extremely religious.
There is one. There's a Church of the whatever we are. Church of the New Ark.
Cool. Let's go with that.
All right. And now, do you want a mystery?
What does that do?
So mysteries are events that'll happen that you have to do things in a certain amount of time or else shit gets bad.
Let's go with random then. I don't want you to know what's going to happen.
Okay, good. which means probably we're gonna get the absolute worst one.
Great.
Now, do you want any special rules? Because there's some that make it harder and some that make it worse. Right now, our difficulty challenge is 290%.
Oh shit. Okay. Is there anything we can do in here to make that slightly easier?
Yes, there's quite a bit. We can make rockets fast. We can make fast scanning, which scans the environment for more resources.
What's easy? Let's only pick one.
Okay.
So we can only pick one.
Mm-hmm.
We already have increased production.
Yes.
Our people already like
fuck
really well. So what is easy maintenance?
Easy maintenance. Buildings never malfunction due to a lack of maintenance, which is trophies are disabled though. So.
Oh jeez. I don't know what we're going to do about trophies being disabled.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so we got, with City Mayor,
yeah.
it already makes it so that we have less...
Well, we're not a City Mayor.
You're right, I forgot.
So we should do easy maintenance.
All right.
And let's have that be our...
That brought it down all the way to 100.
Great. That sounds perfect then.
We can make it harder, though, if you want.
Nah, I think we've found a good balance between you're going to be fucked and we've made it somewhat easier on you.
All right. Sounds great.
So let's get started.
Well, now we gotta pick what we get. So they're prefab buildings. Right now we have a drone hub. So before we send people there, we have drones which go around and do shit for us. We have.
I'm gonna leave this up to you.
All right. So get the fuck out of here. That didn't help at all because there's only one. Okay. Let's. Okay.
Is there any way we can ban condoms from this menu?
We can't.
Damn.
There are polymers, which is like condom related.
Okay.
But we actually need those.
I don't know. I think if we ban prophylactics, that'll increase our polymer supply for more important things.
So now we
basically, I want zero family planning whatsoever. If we could cancel Planned Parenthood, I want to do that.
So now we can either choose where we want to start, or I can just go random and see what happens.
Let's do random and see what happens.
It's not great.
Okay.
Do you want me to keep hitting random until we find one we like?
Let's find one with a lot of water. Let's make that.
There
we go. That's it.
Oh, this is gonna make it real hard.
All right, do it again then. You get one veto.
Okay.
One more. Okay, that's not quite as much water as I wanted, but if you're happy with it, I'm happy with it.
I'm not.
Okay, cool.
That's even worse.
That's worse.
That's better.
Okay,
Concrete
cool.
is awful, but I mean, we'll deal with it.
Yeah, we'll make it work somehow. We don't need to maintain our building, so
yeah, but
we only need very little concrete. We only need very little concrete. Concrete is also the devil's material. I don't know if you knew that.
It's made from water.
Yeah, growing plants from water is something the devil does, and then concrete is the devil's material. It's a very weird religion.
Yes, it is. But all of our people are religious. That was part of the thing we had.
Yeah, so I mean, they all believe this stuff wholeheartedly. You all can't say I'm making this up as I go along. Ooh, we got some nice stuttering. It can't be a paradox game unless there's like some really poor ways of loading.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mars.
Thanks, man.
Oh,
Do you want me to read this, or do you want to just skip through it?
Okay, let me see. Oh man, my eyes suck. So this is very tiny font.
Do you want me to read it, or do you want to skip
No, I'll read it.
Okay.
Welcome to Mars! Everyone at Mission Control is impatient to see the rocket touching down and unloading its precious cargo, which is also a euphemism for our beliefs. Our remotely controlled eyes and hands on the red planet, the drones and rovers. Our goal is to secure a foothold for humanity by building the first Martian dome. This daunting endeavor will allow the brave pioneers, the founders, to settle on Mars and prove the colony is sustainable. But until then, we have to make sure the colony has enough construction resources, water, oxygen, and power.
All right. So, this is the map of our area we can explore and build in.
Okay.
Now, before we do that, that's not what I wanted. I want this one. Let's change some things up just from here. Let's change what the building colors are gonna be.
Okay.
So, do you want it white? Do you want it green, blue, pink, different green, or red?
I think you know the answer to this.
Pink?
Absolutely.
Sorry, cherry blossom.
I think the technical term is sakura, so let's go with that.
Okay. And that was about it. Now let's check the mission profile. So, produce 50 food, which gives us 1 billion, more more money. 10 founders at 90% comfort.
Well, good thing they already are having sex out the wazoo.
Yeah, that is one problem. Children have a level that they have to be comfortable at to be able to be born.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. That gives us 100 research, which is nice.
That's because if you're working really hard, you don't have a whole lot of time to devote to
fucking
to procreating. So our personal is to literally have more colonists than we know what to do with.
Well, so that's the next thing on the list.
Yeah.
When we have 20 Martian-born colonists, we get 3 Saint applications.
Okay.
That raises
I want 4,000 Martian-born colonists.
All right. Produce 40 electronics, which is part of a later thing, and that gives us a new rocket, and then have 120 colonists with needs above 80, which gives us another 3 billion.
All right. So I guess our first goal is to somehow get 50 food. However, we're going to do that. I guess the first goal is to get a dome.
Yeah.
But
so first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the scanning area, which allows us to find more things.
Yeah.
And we're given how much is this? It's not a lot, but it'll have to do for now. 441 concrete, and we have our...
10,000 water. That's a lot of water.
It's low, though, which, so if I remember right, it means that it depletes faster. We don't actually have a research going at the moment, which is nice. But,
all right. So...
soil adaptation. I can't speak. Adaptation. This gives us an actual farm.
Okay, good, because once again, we,
hate water.
Once again, growing plants and water.
This is actually, you know what?
Growing plants and water, you know what that leads to? That leads to men having sex with dogs.
Yeah. So
somehow. I don't know how, but it does.
We're going to start with this.
So says our leader, Vosis Schmidt. I was going to go with the other guy who made a cult, but they're much more litigious in the Mormon Church.
So there's 2 here. What's this one? This one gives us 600.
Okay, so we have about 1,000 concrete.
Yeah.
In the immediate vicinity. I don't know how good or bad that is, but that feels good. That feels good in my loins, deep in my plums.
It's better than what I thought we started out with.
All right.
The bad thing is, as of right now, I don't know if there's any metals in the area, which is what you want.
Well, I know we landed in a place with good metal, so...
So I'm gonna so this is, that's the range in which drones move about.
Okay.
And I didn't realize. We start out with this, which allows us to get resources much easier.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
What's that rock? Is that metal?
This is metal.
Okay,
so there is just metal laying around from asteroids and shit.
Okay.
But then there's actual deposits in the middle of
cool.
of the ground.
Well, we got a building that's not working.
Yeah, there's no power. So now we got to build power.
Oh, jeez. It's always something, right? You need some
power. Now we're going to start out with some solar panels.
Oh, yeah.
And then eventually we're going to build some wind power.
Okay. Well, I need you to know that wind is also the devil.
Well, I'm going to have to tell you that
you know what's not the devil is good old-fashioned oil. Black gold.
There's no oil here.
Well, then we'll settle for coal.
It's not that either.
What we ideally want is we want something that the Democrats aren't proponents of, okay?
I don't know how to tell you this, Keegan, but I don't think the Democrats are part of Mars at this point.
That sounds like a hardcore Democrat thinking. Everybody knows that everybody is either a Democrat or a Republican, and there is no other option.
I was about to say, what about independence?
There are no such thing as independents, just Democrats by a different name.
So what I'm doing now is
because if you don't believe in Donald Trump and Jesus, then you are a Democrat.
I'll take your word for it. So what I'm doing now is
sorry.
Yeah, just the beginning of this video. I'm sorry.
All right.
So right now.
Okay, so I automatically see a problem, which is. Contrary to popular belief, it does get dark on the surface of Mars.
It does, yes. And there's a day-night cycle. So that's why we need wind power in the future, because that's on all the time.
Scientifically speaking, Mars doesn't have much of an atmosphere, so there's not actually a whole lot of energy to be found in wind power on Mars.
No, but it makes more power than solar at this point in time.
When it's dark out, that is true. In case people wanted to know, the Martian is bullshit in that you don't get to have it both ways. Oh, look, an asteroid strike. You don't get to have it both ways where they can just, yeet the lid off of the top of a rocket because the atmosphere is not very thick, but there's enough powerful wind to throw a man, 1,000 yards. Sorry, it's space. Meters. We are metric.
I couldn't tell you.
Even though metric is also the measurement system of the devil.
You are the one with the physics degree, so I'll take your word for it. Alright, so now that we got some power and we have the drones up and about, let's make the... I know you're not a fan, but we need the concrete.
Man, we need concrete, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Can we get good old-fashioned wood?
There's no wood currently on Mars.
But can we eventually get wood?
There are forests that can be planted. I'm pretty sure you can't
that
take
way we
them.
can get rid of the devil's material.
Oh, hey, that's interesting. We found a very deep... so we can't do anything with it.
Yeah, we're gonna need like a mine or something.
Well, so
mines where farmers can get the black lung. That's the way that God intended for man to get his metals.
Well, so what happens is you need a special
strip mine.
Not that at all.
Fuck the surface, right? Fuck the planet.
That happens eventually when you get the concrete extractor. It goes in a big circle around, and then it just digs up concrete out of nowhere. Oh, heirloom. What is this? You have a strange package with a letter attached. As you read the letter, your eyes fill with tears. It informs you that your old friend and teacher, Professor Richtman...
I think it's supposed to be Richtman?
Richtman? I don't know.
Who knows how that's
has
pronounced?
Just passed away... Passed away.
He's patched away to the great yonder.
You often accompanied him on his trips and expeditions and discussed many aspects of science and philosophy together.
He's the one who determined that Richtman is our savior. He's the one who determined that concrete is the devil's material.
The strong box contains his legacy. I can't speak today. Protected by a 3-letter password and a short message in his handwriting. You'll know.
Yeah.
So, we can either reveal super fungus breakthrough technology, superior cables and superior pipes breakthrough technology, reveals plasma rocket breakthrough, or nano refinement.
I kind of like nano refinement or super fungus. I don't know what either one of those do.
So I know what super fungus does. That you get a farm called a fungus farm.
Let's do that.
All right, I don't remember
because we don't want to build one hydroponic farm.
Yeah. The gears unlock with a mechanical click. You know what you would find inside, and yet you are grateful for this last gesture of love and goodwill. Transgenetics of yeast was the last thing that kept the professor awake late at night. He was working on the project in complete secrecy, and you doubt that anyone else than you and some others knew about it. And there it is, the complete theory ready to be applied in practice, in front of you, alongside his precious mascot, a cute little teddy bear. And so yeah, we have that ready.
All right, praise Space Jesus.
Yeah, Professor
Richtman was a prophet for Space Jesus?
Yes. So this is just a place to put waste rock, otherwise it fucks up the production.
Oh, okay. So once again, we're relying on the old tried and true of just dump our shit in the middle of a pit somewhere.
Yep. You need deep mining. That's what it's called. It's a special research that allows you to get really deep shit.
What's that up there?
You mean this?
Yeah.
So we're gonna need to get our. Oop, that's not one. We're gonna need our next rocket if we have one. We don't have any, so we're kind of in a bind right now.
Oh, is that a place to land a rocket?
No, that's something you need to get a special transport to be able to research and look at.
Yeah.
Fucking grab the. There we go. All right, so let's grab some more materials.
Yeah.
And then so we're gonna have to make some stuff. We're gonna have to make some stuff to be able to make.
That's kind of how they get you all the time. They're always like, you need to keep building more stuff. This is the materialism and greed that defines the liberals.
Not to alarm you, Keegan, but this is a city builder where you need to build things.
It is the entire point of the game.
Yeah, so we're gonna build a water extractor, which I don't know if you can tell by the name. But
let me guess.
Okay.
It mines iron.
Close. You're close. You're close. You're close. I mean, you are close. I'll give you that. So let's build some wind power going on.
I mean, I'm not a fan. Very clearly, we are currently doing the devil's bidding.
But we kind of have to, or else we can't get anything done.
And it deeply upsets me in my morals, and so therefore it cannot exist.
Well, you're not gonna like it. But I forget, we have pink piping.
Oh man! All of a sudden now, this city has become 1,000 times more attractive.
Yep. So now we're gonna have to build a fuel refinery, which creates it from water, which you're not gonna like.
Well, but it becomes good old-fashioned American rocket fuel.
Mm-hmm. And then let's build some water towers.
Also known as, I believe, hydrazine.
I couldn't tell you. And this is a moisture evaporator. So essentially, somehow using the non-water on the surface of Mars, it takes it from the air and makes water.
Oh, well, there is water in Mars's atmosphere. Maybe it's probably in such small, minute quantities that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think it only gives you.
And this would be an incredibly inefficient process.
Let's see, it gives you.
But somebody who knows more about Mars's atmosphere.
Water production.
I'm going to look it up real quick, and I'm going to see what Mars's atmosphere is composed of, and see if there is any.
Indeed, in fact, water.
I know Mars's atmosphere is like 90% carbon dioxide.
Oh, we have our own radio host.
With Panamasculine, your first radio host choice with the best radio voice.
Oh, there is zero. I believe, if I'm reading this right, it's about 0.03% water.
Fun.
So there is some water in Mars's atmosphere. It is probably extremely inefficient from a resource perspective to try and pull it out of the atmosphere.
But hey, this gives us water.
As long as you're near any one of the poles, there's readily available water in the form of ice.
Yep. Oh, and our extractor has been built, so now that gives us even more, which is nice. So now we'll have some being stored up here, so for later purposes. As much as you hate it.
Yeah. No, I don't hate water. I hate growing plants in water.
Oh, sorry.
If it's not from the ground in feces, it's the devil's work.
Gotcha. So eventually, I'm gonna do something. I'm not gonna like it, but we're gonna have to. I'm going to outsource some of our research so that we can actually have this done.
As long as it's being outsourced to good conservatives.
Yeah, so now we just kind of wait around a little bit as we collect supplies and things. Oh, the pink highlights are on fleek.
Do people still say that?
I couldn't tell you.
Me neither.
So eventually we're going to send this bad boy back. And then we're going to have it come back with some special things that'll help us out tremendously.
Yeah.
It's just...
some special tools to...
Some, equipment and...
It's a surprise tool to help us later, kind of thing.
I mean, I'll know what it is. You won't.
Yeah.
I'm actually really happy with this map we got, because in other maps, you're in mountainous things, so there's like different elevations that you have to deal with.
Whereas we just have mesas and craters.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're taking a while to build those windmills.
Well, I think that's because we're out of supplies. Yeah, we're out of supplies.
It's because we haven't been keeping up with our metal extraction?
No, it's because we haven't been keeping up with our concrete extraction at the moment.
Well, that'll happen.
And now if you look, we're up to 57 electricity production.
I'll take your word for it, because those are really small, and it's a Paradox game, so who knows what that means. Who knows what's going on up there other than people who have played this game for 40 hours.
You're not wrong.
Alright. So what's our next step?
Next step is to fucking send this thing after we have enough fuel for it.
Alright. And I'm assuming we're gathering enough... We're like making fuel like bonkers right now.
It creates 12 every day.
Considering there's nothing else that we're using water for.
Except for storage, but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
We're almost good for our research, which I outsourced, which cost a good amount of money.
Yeah.
But it will last for like 5 of the beginning texts that we have.
We have 1.1 billion right now.
We started out with 2.
Well.
So it's going to be a bit of a...
As, space is expensive.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now we have 100 more research.
Cool.
And we're going to queue this up, which gives us another billion.
Cool.
Well, I mean, I can build some things. I can build air production, which I'm not too sure how that works, but it's a thing.
My guess is it creates livable, breathable oxygen or something similar.
Yeah, it's called a moxie, which doesn't help any way whatsoever in giving.
My guess, and I'm going to say this from a physicist perspective of how you would actually do it, is that somehow you're cracking CO2 and forming molecular oxygen, much like photosynthesis does.
So we're just running around with like pure oxygen that it could explode at any second if there's a problem.
Yes, that is generally something you want to avoid, but
we're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
See, it says produces oxygen.
Yeah. So that would be my guess. That's how scientifically you would do it.
So let me check, because I don't remember if it happens. It does not say. Okay. So something that's going to happen at some point in time is there's random problems that will happen because of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So we're going to end up with dust storms and maybe cold waves and some other fun jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And as we start terraforming Mars, we'll start getting toxic rain.
Toxic rain?
Like acidic rain.
Man, we're putting too much sulfur in the atmosphere.
Currently, there's like none in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's still taking fucking forever, and we only have the one production.
Well, I mean, it's not like we can speed it up any.
No, and I can't really build a dome. Oh, but we can build farms later now.
Good.
And we can research fungal farms, which will give us fungus.
That's great. Because we need to be eating 100% pure lichen.
Yes. And plus with that breakthrough we got from our old professor friend.
I was going to say we need a lichen colony. Isn't Lichen Colony... That's a movie, right?
Maybe.
That's like a really bad movie.
Is it?
I think so. I've never seen it. I've heard about it.
I've heard on the...
And by heard about it, I mean I think it's featured in a Best of the Worst episode.
Oh, really? It's that
shout
bad?
out to Red Letter Media. Those guys are awesome.
So now there's absolutely nothing that I can do.
Yeah. That sounds like space exploration, is that eventually you just get to a point where you don't do anything.
I mean, I can pre-plan where to put shit. Like, I can put this, like, up here.
Do we want our dome that close to, like, all of our production? Don't we want it on, like, the other side?
No, that's fine. It really doesn't actually
Next to
matter.
our dump holes.
Yeah, well, I mean, eventually we're going to get somehow to extract deep metal, which will allow us to do fun things and have metal production.
And also just, like, I'm really glad that we have waste rock, because that's how space exploration goes, is that, like, you just generate a bunch of waste, and you have no plans on how to use that or how to utilize it.
Way in the future. Like, let me show you how far. Like, way the fuck down here, you get the waste rock. It essentially melts it down and makes it into concrete.
Oh, yeah.
But that's down here.
Yeah. Real somber music soundtrack right here.
Well, I can change it if you want.
The last song was kind of like really nice. It had like a beat to it, and this one's like makes you want to like.
Right now we're on the official Mars channel. There's the Free Earth channel, the Red Frontier, and Surviving Mars.
Free Earth sounds like a conspiracy channel.
It does.
It sounds like it's on AM radio or something. So we should be listening to that.
All right, let me put it on.
Right. Too bad there's none that are like good Church of the New Ark stations where we know there won't be any minority music or cursing.
Right now, it's almost like beach music. Yeah. Which, I mean, technically, this is one big beach. There's just no water around for it.
It's technically one big beach, except for the qualifier that makes it the beach.
Yes. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Research complete.
Oh, we are flying through this research. I did. What is this?
What was that thing that was checked off down the bottom? Is that our super fungus farm?
No, this is the. Remember how we started with a research?
Oh, that's the
deep
scan.
Deep scan, yeah.
Okay, cool.
This is
Makes
like
you want to dance, man.
This reminds me of like old Scooby Doo when they're like on the beach and they're doing the awkward movements.
Oh, yeah, what you mean is like 1960s era beach music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like, have you ever played the game known as The Blob?
No.
We'll do it later at some point, and I'll show you. It's all music like this.
Yeah. Anomaly?
Yeah, so that's what these things are. They're called anomalies.
Yeah,
we still can't do anything with them because it's fucking stupid because it's taking forever. We got 10 more to go before we can send it off.
Yeah. So this is hard, huh?
It gets worse once you actually have people living there.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, what's the problem? Like, the drones are bored?
No, people are very picky about how relaxing a life on another planet. And look, when we made this, what the area is like. Because whenever you move to a new spot, you got to check the surrounding area.
Yeah. You know, it's like camping.
Yeah.
You know, you got to go around, you got to move all the small little rocks that would be underneath your tent and waste 14 hours of your life trying to make the perfect camping spot.
Yeah.
Only to figure out that you put your entire camping spot in a shallow area and it rains and it floods.
Yeah, those are definitely problems.
Yep.
We won't run into flooding anytime soon here, though.
Yeah.
Luckily, we got that down.
Yeah, I don't think Mars floods very often. You are currently being bombarded by terrible amounts of radiation due to the fact that Mars has zero magnetic field.
You're right.
But we're not going to pay attention to any of that. We're just going to handle it.
Well, that's what the domes are for when you build them. And, the fact that there's no air that you can actually breathe. Hey, we can finally send this thing.
Hey, man, you can breathe it out.
This is true. This is true.
You can physically breathe the atmosphere. It just won't do you any good.
Oh, did we?
Actually, I don't know if you can physically breathe Mars's atmosphere.
I don't think so.
Because, the way that you breathe, right, is that you create essentially like a vacuum in your lungs.
Yeah.
And I don't know, if the pressure in your lungs, even when you're at the bottom of your breath and breathing in, I don't know if you can create enough of a vacuum to actually breathe in on Mars. There you go. Science fact of the day. Somebody out there's like, holy shit. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Welcome to the big wide world of science.
Ooh, even more anomalies. So, this anomaly here will give us more research. Mm-hmm. This one here will unlock, in the list that we haven't researched, but more technology. Let's see. This one here is kind of the wild card.
Uh-huh.
Good and bad things can happen.
Okay.
And then there's another one. No.
What's with all the glowing spots? Oh, I guess that's just more like concrete or stuff.
Yeah. There's another one that unlocks breakthroughs, which give you special technology. Well, this one. We need this one now.
Yeah.
This one will require less fuel for our rockets because they take fucking forever.
So now we gotta wait the 2.5 years for the rocket to come back?
A few moments later.
But maybe it is the 2.5 years.
We have an issue. Mission Control suggests that we order a rocket or supply pod with valuable payload from Earth. But that means we have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Back on Earth, a dutiful team is standing by for our call. They're upset that we haven't talked to them.
Yeah.
It's like your stalker girlfriend. He's the guy who calls you every 20 minutes, but you haven't done anything about it.
Yeah.
In mere hours, they can prepare a new rocket or supply pod and fill it with whatever resources we request, within the limits of the funding provided by our sponsor, which we don't have a lot of funding.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate to make the call and secure valuable resources, which we still can't produce ourselves, or we are deprived of on the surface of the Red Planet.
The Red Planet, because Mars is trademarked.
Yeah. Somehow. It's like the guy who, proclaimed himself owner of the moon and is, selling, acres of moon for whenever we actually colonize it.
You know there's, an international treaty that technically you can't own?
No, it's a country cannot own.
Yeah.
But some dude found a loophole and said that he himself owns it.
Well, the thing is that you can declare that you own any property whatsoever.
Yeah.
The thing is that you have to be able to, like everything else when it comes to, land, is that you have to be able to, if somebody else comes and disputes it, you need to be able to hold up to that claim.
Yeah.
In the old days, that meant that you could just, shoot
the guy?
that you had more guns than him.
Yeah. So,
which is all the legal piece of paper that says you own your house or whatever says, is that the United States government will use its guns to defend your claim.
So
or whatever government you live in.
Supply pods cost money to send, plus the money of whatever you want to buy. So it's kind of a waste to buy that.
Yeah.
And they're one-time use. You can't send it back.
Wasteful, man. Do they just, crash into the surface?
They do, actually.
and they're like, I need water, okay, and they just like slam it into it, whatever terminal velocity on Mars' surface it is.
Let's build a landing pod just for the hell of it.
What is a landing pod? Oh, just to make
pad.
it.
Sorry, not pod.
I was about to. A landing pod doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Is that like now where the rocket will land?
Yeah, well, see, whenever a rocket lands, it creates dust, which fucks up things, which requires more maintenance.
Oh, but we don't we don't need to maintain anyway.
Well, no, that's inside things. This requires maintenance, I believe.
Soundtrack for that fabulous life you're living.
So, landing pad. See, like this requires maintenance, but we don't have the resources to maintain it.
Oh man!
Tasted like liquid bread.
Did we get a German station somehow?
Man, I now have serious problems because we know that alcohol is a demon semen.
Is it?
Is the preferred phrase.
Is it now? I'm
Yeah.
As you're the representative of this, so
Yes.
you'll have to inform me of these things.
Yes. So there can be no alcohol.
Oh, we can get the rocket back now. Thank fucking God. Okay, so we're gonna want either the machine parts factory or the polymer factory.
I'm gonna leave that up to you. Ideally, we'd get both.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about how much money we have, because that takes up like almost all of it right there. If we get both, and then we're gonna need a RC Explorer, which takes up more money.
Yeah. Can we sell shit?
No, we don't have. We have not found any rare material to sell.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna go with this.
Okay, time to wait 2 more years.
Ooh. Now this is a thing. There's planetary anomalies, which is when you send a a rocket to go explore, and certain things you get in reward for that. Like in this one, you get a breakthrough. It costs time and resources to some degree. Sometimes just drones or people, which is nice. This one we get research progress, and they said there was 4. So if we can find the next ones, new tech or unknown.
Oh, jeez, man. I feel like we're going to get demonetized for this. But I think that this is a good time to end the episode.
All right.
So if you guys like this, and like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, visit the channel, see all the other
terrible stuff we've done.
All the other stuff we've done, and like and subscribe and do all that stuff to those videos.
All that jazz.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to all of our videos.
Thanks, Keegan.
Make sure you share all of our videos, all of them,
and you
every
like
single one.
All the videos.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.